Day 24, the little church that could. The men of Jericho built the adjoining section, and Zakur, son of Imri, built next to them. The fish gate was rebuilt by the sons of Hassenaah. They laid its beams and put its doors and bolts and bars in place. Meremoth repaired the next section. Next to him, Meshullam made repairs, and next to him, Zadok made repairs. Nehemiah 3, 2-4. We are on a mission from God. Blues Brothers. Money is like manure. You have to spread it around or it smells. J. Paul Getty. Kevin Fisher, the pastor of Bernie's church, the Miami Vineyard Community Church, shared a vision one fateful Sunday about collecting an offering for a little inner-city church that was struggling financially. Amazingly, God began to work in the hearts of a great number of people in that humble church. The temptation to be smart, to use the brain God has given you and not go overboard, did enter their minds. But they remembered where they had been and how faithful and generous God had been. So they and 300 others decided to go without, to downsize, to forego an addition, a repair, a blouse, a holiday, and things that satisfy for only a moment. It was risky. It was crazy. The day arrived. The proverbial offering plates passed from hand to hand around the congregation. Every check, dollar, and coin would be converted to one check made payable to the Centro Cristiano Casablanca. Wednesday was the day to deliver the sacrificial offering. 300 adrenaline-filled adventurers crowded in cars, vans, and buses to surprise 8 people huddled around a dry marker board with 3 words scribbled on it: God will provide. This humble gathering had no idea that 300 crazed congregants would converge on them at any moment. The doors opened, and one by one, each person rushed in. They all found seats, their collective body filling the modest church to the rafters. The applause, whistling, talking, and laughing reached a deafening pitch. As if on cue, a hush came over the audience as the stunned pastor of the inner-city church, Eddie Rivera, made his way to the stage and said just 10 words. "Pastor, I just want to know what is going on." Pastor Kevin from the Vineyard took the microphone from Pastor Eddie's hand and spoke a deep spiritual truth to the anxious crowd. In the words of the great theologians, the Blues Brothers, we are on a mission from God. The excitement could no longer be contained. The house of worship erupted in an awe-inspiring cacophony of screams, cheers, and shouts. Pastor Kevin reached into his pocket and pulled out the envelope that contained the offering. Pastor Eddie's next words could barely be heard above the din of the crowd as he opened the envelope and read its contents. It is more blessed to give than receive. Here is your check for $57,000. These last words came out fitfully as he fought back the tears his wife had already given into. Exuberant tears began to flow down the faces of too many to count. No one knew this, but Pastor Eddie had not been paid for 6 months. An air condition repairman who was not a Christian happened to be at the church fixing the forever broken air condition unit. He was so moved by this selfless act, he gave his life to the Lord that very day. These initial repercussions were only beginning. Hundreds of thousands have seen the homemade video taken at Centro Cristiano and have given their lives to Christ, and many other churches have decided to follow Miami Vineyard's example. Isaiah wrote that God's word does not return to me empty. I once thought it meant it will accomplish something, even if it is small. I now have a new perspective on this truth. The point is, your actions may seem insignificant and petty at the time, but God can use them in exponential ways. Remember this as you are faithful with God's money in paying back your debts or using what God has given you for a higher purpose.